Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Gaber890, back again with another episode. So last time we talked about my Super Nintendo, so it only makes sense that we move on to the immortal Nintendo 64, which actually released in Japan on June 23rd, 1996. So this year marks the 25th anniversary, and that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This was a console where I feel like I finally was old enough that I could actually game a little bit. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have one, but my best friend did, and so we played it all the time. And I've managed to collect most of the games that we would play together and really made my childhood as good as it was. So, yeah, the N64. But let's get into the games. All right, so up first, we got Forsaken 64. Um, got this one for $5.29. I was able to find like some of the common ones at a retro game store where all of them were $5, and so I grabbed some of my favorites even if they weren't that good. I think that's the beauty of childhood. It didn't really matter if the game was phenomenal or not. It was just if you had fun with it. But I did like this. This is a perfect example. San Francisco Rush, Extreme Racing. Me and my best friend would play this all the time, and there was a secret underground track you could find, and that's why we would play it, just so you could go there, and there was all these loops and jumps. And so anyways, when I found this in a pawn shop, I picked it up because I was pretty excited about it, and I did so for $5.29. All right, and then this is another one. This was one of my favorites because it was in the arcades as well, and that is uh, Cruisin' USA. I always had a fun time with this one. It seemed like everybody I knew owned this game, so I was able to get that one for $5.64. And then a friend of mine, one of my best friends, who's given me quite a few games throughout the years, once he found out I was a collector, gave me a couple N64 games. One of them was Cruisin' World. And so I was excited to pick up this one because I was loved USA. All right, and then we got Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero, which I have heard very mixed reviews of. I got this in a bundle actually and decided to hang on to it. And so I ended up paying $3.63. And I believe in the same bundle I also got 007 The World Is Not Enough. Not quite as good as the classic GoldenEye. But yeah, $3.63. Okay, and then this is another one from my good friend, Chameleon Twist 2. Just gave it to me like the generous fellow he is. All right, and then this is another one that me and my best friend would play all the time that we had a blast with, Extreme G. Just this over-the-top racing game, kind of like Wipeout in a way. Extreme G, $5.64. All right, and then we got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, which I believe I got in a bundle. Yep, $3.63. Gotta love the Tony Hawk series. And then this one I picked up in a pawn shop. They advertised on the Facebook Marketplace that they had gotten a bunch of N64 games, and most of them were like around like $5 to $7. And so anyway, South Park Chef's Love Shack. I love South Park, and so I definitely wanted to pick this one up. Yeah, so I got this one for $3.29. Right, and then that same pawn shop, I grabbed Castlevania. And it even had the manual. Got this one for $5.29. All right, and now this is one that I had a roommate that he was always like, "You gotta get Glover. You gotta get Glover." And so when I saw it in a pawn shop, I got Glover. And yeah, it's a pretty cool platformer. A lot of unique characteristics for sure. So Glover, $7.42. Okay, and then this is one that was one of my favorites. Whenever a friend had this one, I always wanted to play it, and that is Army Men Sarge's Heroes. Great game. I'll never forget me and my friend were playing, and we were taking turns. Like when one of us would die or get stuck, we'd just swap the controller back and forth on the main missions. And there was one time where I was stuck and I almost got it, and so I was going again, and he's like, "Can I try?" I'm like, "Yeah, just let me finish this run." And then the next thing I know, I feel the controller kind of being tugged, and my natural instinct, of course, is to like tug back, and then it's just ripped out of my hands. And so I look up, and his mom is standing there, and she hands a controller to him, and she's like, "It's his turn." And I was like, "I was gonna give it to him." She's like, "I know," and then walked off, and I was like, "Holy smokes, crazy man!" But anyways, Army Men. I grabbed this one for $10.49 off of eBay. And the same can be said for Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2 for $10 even. And then this one I believe I found in a pawn shop. Army Men Air Combat. I love the green cartridge. I think that's a nice touch. Got this one for $6.27. Alright, and then this one, a lot of people play this one and they love this game. That is Star Wars Shadows of the Empire. Yeah, I haven't played this one too much, but everyone else has, so I got it for $3.63. All right, and then this one, I think it's just because number one, it's Atlas, and number two, it's just like has a unique graphic style. Like it's just lovable. Snowboard kids. So there was a retro game shop that they wanted too much for it, but I kind of at one point was friends with one of the guys that worked there, and so he would give me a fair deal. And so I got this one for $29.64. And I think at the time I was going for like $35 or something, so I don't know what it's doing now. All right, and then this one I always wanted. Like it's funny because StarCraft is meant for the PC like through and through. But I don't know, it just sounded so cool to have like Blizzard games on console. And so I traded for this one actually from a gaming group on Facebook. And so the trade value was where is it? There we go. $22.75 is what I ended up paying. Okay, and then this is one of my favorites. And the problem was that most people that had it, they had already played it to death, so they didn't want to play it. And that is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Not Pod Racer, Racer. So yeah, I picked this one up as soon as I could. I got it on eBay for $5.09, but then I got another one in a bundle. And so I held on to the better condition one, and then I was able to sell it and come out even. Pretty cool when that can happen. Alright, and then Star Wars Rogue Squadron. No N64 is complete without this. Got this one for $7.50 in a bundle. Okay. And then up next, we got a game that I remember was very challenging to me and my friend, but we just thought it was so cool. Turok Dinosaur Hunter. So I got this one for $5. And then I had a bit more fun with Turok 2 Seeds of Evil just because it was multiplayer. And we'd always play as the Raptors because you could run super fast. So this one I got for $7.39. Okay. Then we got 1080 I picked this one up for $5 off of Craigslist. All right, and then we got, oh my gosh, the rarest game in my collection, Pilotwings 64. Boom! Grabbed this one, $8.64. Kind of a graphical demo of the N64. All right, and then here's a classic, Harvest Moon 64. I had a friend that loved this game. So I actually bought this one off of eBay for $44.99, and I'm glad I did, because it did start to go up. I always had my eye on it. All right, and then this is one that was one of my best friends, like one of his all-time favorite games. So when I first got into collecting, I saw this in the pawn shop, and I had never played it or heard of it. But because of his love for it, I picked it up, and that is Jet Force Gemini, a game by Rare. And so I got this one for $5.29. All right, and then if you're into Rare, well, you better have Perfect Dark. Remember, this was really fun multiplayer. And we would play this one. And so I actually had bought this one and then gotten like 2 more copies in bundles. And so after I sold it, I believe I came out even. But yeah, originally I paid $3.80. All right, here's a heavy hitter. We got Pokemon Snap. I loved this game. One of my favorite memories was my sister was gonna drop me off at my grandma's so she could babysit me when I was obviously a lot younger, a couple years ago. And I didn't want to go because I was playing a game. She's like, I'll rent you a game. Any game you want. And at my grandma's house, we had an N64. And so I'm like, Pokemon Snap. And she's like, okay. So we rented Pokemon Snap from Blockbuster. Played it all night. I just loved it. So anyways, when this was up on Craigslist, I jumped on the chance to grab it for $5. All right. Now here's a lot of people's favorite racing game. Definitely a solid one. That is Diddy Kong Racing. I was able to grab this one for $5 in a bundle. Okay. Now here's another classic. Yoshi's Story. Yoshi's Story. I had a friend that he loved this one. I feel like for a little while it kind of got a bad rap, but people have warmed up to it. So I got this one for $27.50 off of eBay. Jeez, I wonder what it's doing now. All right, and then last one for this video, part 1. Excitebike 64. This was another staple that me and my best friend would play all the time. Just the huge jumps and the crazy air you could get. Like, we would have so much fun with this. So I knew I had to get this one, and I did for $7.99. So yeah, that's going to wrap up part 1 of the N64. We'll have part 2 going here shortly. But yeah, what are some of your favorite N64 games and favorite memories of that glorious generation? And as always, thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.